Hey kids, this is Princess Read-A-Lot from Kids Reading Corner 207, and today we're going to read Breaking Out of the Bungle Bird by Aaron Reynolds, illustrated by Pete Whitehead. In the jungle of Bungle McGungle Matoo lived a mosquito named Flea and a butterfly Sue, two better best friends you have never seen. Ever, and will stay bestest friends, and they would say till forever. But as sometimes will happen with friends that are best, that friendship will sometimes be put to the test. And that is what happened one day last July to Flea Mosquito and Sue Butterfly. They were standing there sharing some Bungle fruit punch when a bungle bird flew by and ate them for lunch. The lights all went out and they felt themselves falling. They tried to crawl up with their very best crawling, but they hit with a splash. The air was quite smelly. Then they looked, there they stood in a bungle bird belly. "No, this can't be," shouted Butterfly Sue. "We've been swallowed up whole. Now what do we do? I'm too pretty and young to be lunched on this way. I have flights yet to fly. I have games yet to play." A butterfly panic attack was at hand. If you have ever been eaten, then you'd understand. There was only one thought on the mind of Sue now. "We've got to escape from the bungle bird. How?" She said, "The time has come for great thoughts to be thinked, for ideas to be hatched, for a plan to be inked. For any ideas far-fetched or absurd, we must form a plan to break out of this bird." So silence came over the two in the tummy of this bird who had thought that these bugs would be yummy. They thinked and they thinked and they thinked some more. They thinked and they thinked till their thinkers were sore. Until lo and behold, the mosquito named Flea jumped up and said, "Sue, I've got an idea." "Oh, be quiet, Flea," said Butterfly Sue. "You've upset the thinking I'm trying to do." Flea stood there and tried to pretend that she hadn't been hurt by her very best friend. Their problem was tricky, no time to be smug. After all, digestion waits for no bug. Flea tried to be patient. She tried to be true. And so she just sat there thinking with Sue. They thought and they thought and they thought and they thought till their foreheads were wet and their feelers were hot. Till Flea decided she'd try once again to spell out her plan to her butterfly friend. "I've got it," said Flea. "It's not a bad plan." But Sue stopped her and said, "You've interrupted again. I'm trying to think of a way to get free, but I can't concentrate with you yapping at me. Well, my focus is broken. You might as well tell of this wonderful plan that you've thought of so well." And so Flea Mosquito began to explain the idea she's invented inside of her brain. She would climb up the throat, up high to the head. Every bird, I think, must at last go to bed. And when it's asleep, we can tell from the snoring, will pry up its beak and be long gone by morning. Climb up the throat, pry up the beak? Sue scoffed at her friend. "No, your plan is quite weak. We could sting the bird's throat. The idea stings too. Tie its gizzard in knots. Wake me up when you're through." Her list of ideas have come to an end. Flea turned and looked at her butterfly friend. "You're my very best friend, but I really can't see all these ideas I got. You won't listen to me." "Yes, Flea," Sue said. "You're my friend, this is true, but that doesn't mean I should listen to you. I'm older than you and wise, can't you see? The one to come up with a plan will be me. And so Sue Butterfly, she sat down and thunk. And she thunk and she thunk and she thunk and she thunk. And while she was thunking and thunking this way, Flea Mosquito, well, she climbed away. And later that night, the mosquito got out of the Bungle Bird's throat through the Bungle Bird's mouth. She slipped out the beak while the bird was asleep, and she did the whole thing without making a peep. And well, not so lucky was Butterfly Sue. She never came up with the right thing to do. But the butterfly thought only she knew the way, so she's probably still in that belly today. It's really too bad if she'd taken advice, then her story too might have turned out quite nice. So if you ever get eaten and are close to your end, please listen and take the advice from your friends. The end. It's a bird-eaten bug world. Problems and tough decisions creep and crawl into your life every day. You don't have to figure them all out by yourself. While it may sting to ask a friend for help or admit that you don't have all the answers, the truth is there are lots of wise people fluttering around in your life just buzzing with great advice. The end. Thanks for listening and read live.